Wine is one of the world's most ancient art forms. It's been around for thousands of years, but due to popularity and the need to produce more wines, you might argue that not all winemaking has been as sustainable as it once was. Well, here in Ontario's Niagara wine region, there's a number of wineries who are bringing back themselves to what I would call basics, some of the old sustainable practices of winemaking, and they're making it a part of their practice. Not only just with how they grow their wine, but how they operate their business. And today we're going to take a look at a couple of these wineries and see just how sustainability is becoming part of how they do business. So we're here at Chateau Winery, beautiful Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, with Michelle Bosque, Director of Marketing. Love this place.
Thank you.
Gorgeous. I could live here, and I'm sure you don't mind doing so.
Not at all.
But tell me about Chateau des Charmes. How long have you been around? I know, but for those who are not aware.
Well, we were founded in 1978 by my father-in-law, Paul Bosque, Sr. He's a fifth-generation wine grower from French Algeria and University of Burgundy and Dijon graduate. So this is truly in his blood.
Now, I'm talking in this piece about sustainable initiatives in the wine industry, and you've been doing this even without an official designation for some time.
Yep.
In the sort of concise answer, what does sustainable winemaking mean to Chateau des Charmes?
I think it's very simple. It's about doing things today, making decisions today to give yourself the best possible crop that you can today, but also the opportunity in the future to do the same. So you're looking to make sure that the decisions you make are the right things in the vineyards, in the business, for the families and our community, looking with a long-term view.
It almost is funny because that almost sounds very old-fashioned.
Absolutely old-fashioned, and I keep, when I talk to my father-in-law about these things, he said, but that's just the way we did it, and that's the way he was taught. So while it may be fashionable for some people, it's really old, tried and true farmer common sense, because at the heart of it, we really are farmers.
It's true, and it's always, I'm always hearing in my head, my parents and grandparents say, well, back in my day, well,
exactly.
Back in their day, it actually made sense.
And it still does today.
That's great stuff. So we're just down the road from where we were earlier at Chateau des Charmes, and we're now at a newer property at Stratus Winery, but another winery that's just doing absolutely amazing things with practicing sustainable initiatives and the way they produce their wines, the way they build their building and their estate. It's a fantastic thing. I'm with Suzanne Janka, who's the Director of Hospitality and Retail here at Stratus. Give me a brief story if you can, and first of all, thanks for having us here, but tell me a little story about the history of Stratus.
Well, thanks very much for visiting, Eric. You know, since inception, since the building and the vineyard was purchased, we've always wanted to embrace a very healthy and natural respect for the land. I mean, wine is from the land, and without a beautiful, healthy farm, we don't have a winery in essence, or a wine region. So our owner, David Feldberg, who is quite a visionary in terms of environmental building practices and so on, wanted to incorporate LEED certification.
And he's the principal behind Technion, correct?
That's right, Technion Furniture Systems in Toronto.
Yeah.
And we wanted to keep it very domestically focused, embracing talent that was local, and just push boundaries in terms of how we operate the farm and the facility proper, and how we can bring the earth and all its wonder into every bottle and glass of wine.
So that's kind of what sustainability is all about, and is that sort of the mission statement of Stratus? I mean, how would you define what sustainable winemaking is to you?
Well, sustainable winemaking, of course, it starts in the vineyard, so you have to be extremely gentle with what you're doing. You have to nourish the land and you know, give back to the earth. in the way that you harvest your vines, in the way that you treat for different pests, be it fungus or pesticides and so on, but also how you manage the manufacturing of wine or the producing of wine in your facility. How can you reduce your energy consumption, your water, how heavy is your glass for your bottles, how effectively can you deliver your wines, etc., etc. So, and what kind of programming and education do you offer your visitors and your wine fans? And so we really try in every facet of our business to embrace this idea of respect for the earth and of our farm.
So with wine being a staple in so many homes and part of celebrations and enjoyment everywhere, it's really reassuring to know that for environmentalists like myself, there's a lot of great initiatives being undertaken here in Niagara wine country and other wineries around the world to embrace sustainability, to embrace a respect for the way it was done in the past and how we should be doing it in the future. For me, it's a great thing to embrace, and I hope that we'll continue to support and acknowledge more wineries who embrace sustainability as part of how they do their business. From Stratus Winery with a beautiful 2008 Stratus Red in my hand in Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, for Envirodad, I'm Eric Novak. Cheers. Amazing.